Okay. Amar Mechaber. Oh, right. So this actually we should introduce. This is Sefer Mavo HaTalmud Rabbi Shmuel HaNaggid Zal in Kitzur Klalei Horo'oh Mulkat Sifrei HaKlallim. This is found in the back of any standard chas in the beginning and the Masechus Brachos. Bios sheshlemus hapula tuli bakdamos hadios. Since the perfection of a matter is contingent on prefacing it with knowledges of pula of the manner in which it functions, as much as necessary, and through that, yes, so the worker will do his work without any shortcoming, kishlon, and failure. And with the absence of this, but he's going to lack the skill for that act. This will happen to students. Will not do not know the holy way of the principles of the Talmud, which is of course why we are waiting till we are 60 years old almost in order to learn this, right? Because we should have learned it when we were about 45, 50 years ago. But nevertheless, no time like the present. Okay? They will be find it agonizingly difficult to find the proper pathway. So to come to its ultimate end. Mari Kanpotan, whoever that was. In any book of any commentator or author in which you look, first try to know the pathways of that commentator, which is going to take you, pathway which is going to lead you in with his words, and then go into the work. Therefore, we said it's best to put in the opening of the Gemara Klalei HaTalmud b'kitzur nimratz, the principles of the Talmud in very, very brief detail. In order to bring merit to the masses. Anybody who is involved in this for the right reasons. In case the pulasam ba'amadein, there's no end to the reward for the work in this world, but peiros, with the fruits of the fruits. And the principle which will still be intact for the world, which is completely good. And here we have Rashi Tevos Habaim Klallim, the Rashi Tevos which will come in the principles, which are not necessarily ones which are standards. So let's go through them here. They are Gimel Hey, which are Gufei Halachos. Hey Aleph Halichos Eli. Never even heard of that before. Hey Ayin Halichos Olam. Samech Chaf Sefer Krisus. That is actually one of the Rishonim. Tav Ches Tchilas Chachma. Shla Shtei Luchos Abris. Shin Yud Sheres Yosef. Mem Ayin Migdal Oz. Kav Mem Kesem Mishnah. Mem Nun Meharerei Nimerim, from the mountains of tigers. Okay. All right. Mavo HaTalmud Shmuel HaNaggid. Shmuel HaNaggid, I assume, was before many of these books, which were just quoting the Rashi Tevos. I assume the Rashi Tevos pertained to the Kitzur Klallim. Okay.
Was he a Rishon?
Yes. Anybody's called HaNaggid was a Rishon. I don't know who he was, but he was. Nagid means a leader of some congregation in North Africa or Spain.
Right.
I should really look up and find out for next time who he was. The Talmud is divided into two parts: Mishnah, Perush Mishnah, the Mishnah and its interpretation. HaMishnah creates Torah Shebal Peh, v'Yesod Torah she'tiko Moshe Rabbeinu Lavashom Adi Rabbeinu Kodesh Lavashom Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. This is the which is called Torah Shebal Peh. It's the basis of the Torah, which has been given over from generation to generation from Moshe Rabbeinu until Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, V'nikra Kadosh, who happens to be called holy, he never put his hand below his belt. Not sure that's important here, but in any event, that's why it's called Rabbeinu HaKadosh. Kikasava, he wrote down the Mishnah. L'man Talmud Yamim Rabim, so it should be last for many days. Must be lost from the hearts of the readers, and let's be forgotten by hearts of readers and lost. This commentary also is divided into two parts. One is the halacha which is sustained, and the second is the halacha which is rejected. Now it seems that these are both have to do with the Mishnayos, not really with the Gemara yet, right? That the Mishnah has two parts to it. See that? The halacha mukiyemes, the halacha adchuya. Halacha mukiyemes. Hamukemes li shalom v'pi Rosh Rabbeinu l'bashol Moshe pi agvura ben shtei divrei yachid ben shtei divrei ramik Moshe reish mukomo. Evidently, the mukuyemes he says is that which we assert is from Moshe Rabbeinu, for ultimately from God, whether it's the words of the individual, the words of the masses. Mochin hamachlokas of the chuya, the rejected machlokas, the rejected opinion, he shalom edka, which is not the one which is ultimately one brought down b'misora. It says it's supposed to say ma'amar mekuyam. It's not therefore the sustained statement. Mentioned the B'yachid, mentioned the Odiv Rabbin, whether it's from an individual or for the masses. Why do you write things that are not halachically accurate? It's best just to write halacha straight. To Chayla Shibo, you can respond to him. The ancient sages copied down in their notebooks for themselves whatever they learned. Whether it is halacha or not. When Rabbeinu HaKadosh came to copy from them, you have to write those things which are not halacha, that will not be omission. Some of you learned the Mishnayos, that is what I learned from so and so, because you'll see that this is not the authoritative attribution. Amoraim says it is regardless. We see it's not the sustained halacha. Why are the words of individuals mentioned among the words of the masses? To negate them. Person comes and says, this is what I heard. Yom Rulo, they will say, Mish Ploni Shamata, you heard from so and so, Klamar Ve'na halacha, meaning that it's not appropriate halacha. Okay. So let's see how we interpret it here in the Kitzur Klallim Mishnah. So immediately we have a chiddush. I'm going to make this even larger for myself here. Mishnah, I never saw this before, and I never knew this before. Mishnah LaMelech, the second to the king. Did you ever hear that before?
No.
Okay. Torah Shemiksav hi Melech, Mishnah Shniyalo. The Torah Shemiksav is the king, and the Mishnah is the Mishnah Melech. Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's a chiddush. Okay.
What?
I think that's a bit of a chiddush. Okay.
Yes, it is. Uperish lashon shoneh. The meaning of the term shoneh. Ubale Mishnah. I guess shoneh has to do with the Mishnayos, obviously. By Mishnah grew Tannaim, and by Mishnah called Tannaim ki Tana Ganken Perusho shoneh, which is really what we understand Mishnah to mean. What we understand Mishnah to mean all these years is something which is shanui, something which is repeated over and over again until it becomes durab piv, until it becomes true Torah shbal peh. But he said, but he separates the actual term Mishnah from the idea of being shoneh, right? And Tana is Aramaic for shoneh. Mishnah is lashon hakodesh, and Tana lashon targum. V'shinantam targina v'tininun. And this is the Shinantam we translated. Tininun lefisha Tannaim yu shonim They would teach Mishnah, and they would teach the Mishnah. Ubalei Gemara nikrim Amoraim. Shachar Chasimas Mishnah Enu Shus Losif Loli Groa. After the Mishnah was sealed, there's no permission not to add nor detract Elefarish Divrem, but rather to explain the words. Called Echad Kifish Kibel Rabo, each one according to the Masorah he received from his Rebbe. Zel Shan Amora, Perush Maturgaman. The word Amora means a Maturgaman, a translator. Isa B'Gemara Uke Amora Alei, where it says put an Amora on him. Perush Mutargaman, was given something to translate, which back then didn't just mean a translator, it really meant primarily a broadcaster, somebody who would say the words of the sage, and much greater amplification. But I believe an Amora also is a word for diver. People who dove for pearls will call it Amoraim. You ever hear that before? That's a Pshat Amora? Let me make sure I think I'm right about that. Let me check that out. Maybe I'm making it up. Amora, speaker, lecturer, interpreter. No, so I don't know why I thought it was. Okay. I might be making it up. I apologize if I made it up.
Okay.
No, so here it says Amodoi is a diver. No, I'm not wrong. In some places it says Amodoi, in some places it says Bar Amoroi. So Amoroi in Rosh Hashanah 23a, in Baba Basra 74b, and in some versions it says Amodoi, some places it says Amoroi as divers. And I thought, and I don't remember where I heard this from. I don't think I'm making it up, but who knows? That an Amora is somebody who dives into the sea of Talmud.
Okay.
So, okay, fine. That's my recollection somewhere. Matina Mishnayos Tumos throws ze and zozo. We find Mishnayos which are without attribution, which contradict each other, which is a big problem, right? Whereas the question, right? Which, because we know Stam Mishnah is not halacha. So how can you possibly have these Mishnayos which argue on each other in terms of what the halacha is, right? So, Taritz and what answers Reb made Karasav Kiplani. First he held like Reuven, the son's made, and then he made the Mishnah attribution, but it's very like Kiploni. Mishnah lo zazmin koima, and Mishnah was not removed from its place. Shavuos pisha chazar Rebbe mikamai. So the Rebbe took back he reneged on his initial position. Once so many evidently Rova Talmidim, once so many Talmidim learned that Mishnah, they couldn't forget it. To remove it from the base medrash. So therefore he left both of them intact. And the second one is primary. Kasa b'tchilas chachma. What's next word? Something.
Shin bet.
Shar base. The gamba bryce ikla meimar lo zazim in koim perakam kedushin gabishem v'ayin. Yochi nekadme lebenazim eresha also there. Evidently, there's something where it goes on. Either where Brysa we say that also Brysa lo zaza bin makoma.
Okay.
What's this all going to? Just my makomas. Okay. Custom b'shem hagom. I know what you're going referring to. But Masha Matina should see there Rabbeinu by Mishnah. Ezo dinim chalukim yachat. You find put several halachas which are distinct and separate together. uh, okay, well, we'll see that Benari afterwards. He says that commercial shini b'chol become arvim mishtatvim is an example. With everything can make an eruv, or eruv chatzeres, or shitufei mevos. Chutzina mayim v'melech besides for water and salt. But only kach because of meiser, right? Is a separate thing as well. Everything is part of kesem meiser. Chutzina mayim v'melech v'anoider min hamazon v'chule. So Rabbi, why does he have these disparate halachas in one place? Rabbi should see that Mishnah Pamim, when he arranged Mishnah, found sometimes Matzot Varim Sidurim Ubaim. So he found things which are already in more ancient versions of the text. Already were arranged in lists. Upamim Sidram Hu. Sometimes he arranged them according to his wisdom. Yisham Kamo. Those which are already made, he didn't, by previous generation, he did not see fit to change. A person is supposed to say things the way he learned it from his Rebbe. The Loshan Rebbe was shown up, which is a strange language grammatically. It should say chayav, not chab. I Tana you because that Tana was Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi used to speak with a certain slur to their words. So they used to say chav instead of chayav. They used to speak with lashon ktsara. I don't know if slur is the right term. They used to speak in an abbreviated way. Mishnah Zumureves, and this Mishnah. Mishnah Murevis came and saw, and this Mishnah mixed all those halachos together. That's how he found it. But Hashem lo you shonim b'seder because the ancient generations prior to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi didn't necessarily learn things according to the order of the Masechtas which Rabbi Yehuda Nasi made. But they would speak about things. They would put together things which were similar in some manner. They deliberately because this helped them not to forget. When things are similar to each other, they grab onto each other. And they'll become memorized. And this is a principle which is worthy of you to preserve. Because it will help you understand several issues which are asked in the order of Mishnayos. So down the bottom, that goes Ben Aryeh. He says, "Custom Shay says the Shem go much material to see the Rabbi Mishnah Huli. This can material Choraya near the Hakikula by Mishnah Kambadinim. Why put several together? Can't Levi Hilchos Psikta. There's a special madrega, a special higher level of validity to Hilchos Psikta, to statements which are made as if they're Piskei Halachot in Kitzur Klallim, right? That means that they are definitive halacha. Etc., etc. So this is seems to be another reason why they may put together, besides the fact that they were learned together by earlier generations. Okay. Kasab Sefer. What do you say? Sefer Tchilas Chachma. Okay, wrote the Sefer Tchilas Chachma. Sharbez Ein Chiyuv Sheida Amora Brisa. This is a famous principle which we know, which is an Amora had to know Mishnayos. Otherwise, he wasn't worth a salt as an Amora. But a Brisa he didn't have to know. Therefore, we say when we find a Brisa which goes like him, we say, oh, but a Brisa goes like him. Very good, right? We don't ask, what do you mean? What are you saying? Already you stated. Mishnah right? The Mishnah Amor had to know it. So therefore, if he's saying something already appears in the Mishnah, we ask, why did you have to say this? It's a Mishnah, right?
Oh, okay.
Nevertheless, there are places where we know Fire Amor did not know a Mishnah, even though they were supposed to. Okay? When there's contradiction from the beginning to the end, or generally gives one of two answers. It usually gives both in the same place. Either it says it's two authors. The first ratio was one author, and the same as another author. The tavla and break it apart. We should try to say he learned the first way. The beginning of the Mishnah is not the same person at the end of the Mishnah. Or betray tama, or it's like going to one tana, but it's two different reasons, usually two different new situations. Vadif Luke may betray tama, may betray tanoi. It's better to say something that goes after it was the same tana with two reasons than say so about two tanoi. Kisa b'kiddushin Amar Shlokish Maimonai Rabbi Yanai. It's better to twist the Mishnah a bit if necessary and say it's two different reasons according to one Tana. We don't say it's the same two Tanoim in the same situation. Taisvis, the Tavra Adif. Taisvis says the opposite. The taste of Shabbos, I don't know what that means. I don't know what he's referring to. Taste of Shabbos, the low kaptina look like a tanoi elevabeis bamasmucha zulazu. To try and ascertain it, to say it's going like to the Mishnah, I think it means to say like it's going to one Tana is only when it's two statements adjacent to each other in the same Mishnah. Mishnayos which are distant from each other, we don't care necessarily to make them the same Tana. Mm-hmm. Let's see the Ben Aryeh. It's because okay, he says in the Gemara itself, it's not just a thesis, it's not so clear. Rabbi Yochanan really came back on Mafkin, etc. If you want to be evidence, you should have evidence anywhere from somewhere else. Etc. Etc. Anyway, but Kitzur Maisa, it's not necessarily superior. And the Gimel says, etc. Etc. Okay, so in any event, it's different opinions. What's the better way to learn a Mishnah? It's better way to learn a Mishnah to break it apart and say it's two Tanoim, or to say that it's one Tana with two Tanoim. Do you want to stop here?
Yeah, it's the page is starting to swim in front of my eyes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. What percentage of what we learned today would you say you did not know?
I'm sorry?
What percentage of what we learned today would you say you didn't know previously?
I think I've heard most of this stuff, but it's good to see it kind of laid out instead of
Okay.
There's some interesting bits here.
Yeah.
All
right. I think it's more interesting goes along, but it's good to see this all stretched out, laid out in front. I agree.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good week.
Right. You too. Take care.